if you observe real estate, it always booms to bust. And so if you stay in one market, your chances of going bust are pretty good. As a result of that, I said I wanted to have us involved in two markets that were completely disassociated from each other as far as they could be. And by and large, that has served us relatively well between New York City and here. And it does give you a perspective, because you sit in one market and people get enthusiasm for something, and the other market gives you some perspective on that. But we have looked for, and we specialize in finding buildings that were built once before, used real estate, and converting them into what today's use is needed. And there's no better example of that possibly in the country than Walker Center. I mean, there was a time it was the tallest building between the Missouri River and the West Coast, and then it fell into some level of disuse. And you know, we all grew up here when you watched the Walker Weather Tower to Fairweather go wash your car or go skiing or whatever it is. So we put the tower back on it, and we've converted it into a first-class, fully competitive first-class office space in a historic building, which is just like anyone else's space, except we can open our windows. And I think you know, it is location, location, location. And I think what's interesting is Salt Lake is the location. You know, this is the best location between, you know, the Mississippi River and the West Coast for anyone to locate themselves. We've got superior education, superior arts. We've got a transportation system now that is going on the ground, is going to be extraordinary, and we've got an airport which is the favorite airport of anybody in the country. I only hope if any city fathers are listening, they don't screw it up by trying to make it into a Denver, Atlanta airport. We have a wonderful system here, and we're going farther, because downtown is now getting housing that is real across the spectrum. It's got our arts. We're going to flesh out the arts downtown. We're sitting here between an airport that's 3 miles away and a university, a major research university 3 miles away. There is no better place in downtown. And the Wasatch Front traditionally grew, but now it's, you know, Tooele to Heber City as where our growth is. And Second South and Main is the absolute center of that here, and that's why we chose to make the kind of investments we made here. I'm hoping that the collective group, and I'm a lead into Jeff, who's next to me here, but that we put dedicated resources on communicating to the world that Salt Lake is a premier headquarters location. And let's not fight the corporate headquarters issue. Let's fight the regional headquarters issue, or intermediate-sized companies that are national. We've had VHIX, which is a national company selling cars owned by Comcast, move into the top floor of our parking garage. And it's hard to sit here and say it's the most spectacular space downtown, but its view goes the other way, and it's not quite as tall, but we look over Gallivan Plaza. They move downtown, and it is their national expansion place. But I think that we need to dedicate resources to help focus and sell downtown Salt Lake as your headquarters city. Regional and then national headquarters will fall in as a result of it. But that will take a team effort. And yes, a lot of the downtown excitement is pulling some people in from more suburban locations. But I think it's important we figure out how to be sure that we're bringing people in from across the West. And there's no better location to headquarters someone than here. Cheap energy, convenient transportation, great education, lifestyle, access to the canyons. I mean, Salt Lake is what the world thinks Denver is, a high-tech, high-educated city sitting in the middle of the mountains with a marvelous lifestyle, except, you know, they're in the Kansas plains. I mean, we are like really here, and so we should be competitive with any and everybody. And so it's a thrill for us to be here. And no, we're not rented up, but we're pretty rented up.